أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد المحمود الأحمد حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. عباد الله أوصيكم بتقوى الله وإطاعة أمره. قال الحكيم في كتاب الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وهو معكم أينما كنتم والله بما تعملون بصير. We are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has given us the guidelines of the Holy Quran and blessed us with Islam. And we are thankful to Him that He is the one that He gives victory to the Muslims and defeat to the kuffar and munafiqeen. Inshallah, every Jum'ah that the mu'mineen come together, the coming of together of the believers, that means to establish that nation of Ibrahim alayhi salam on earth based on the Quran and the Sunnah of our Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his Ala Muhammad Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. As we read the Holy Quran, mentions to us as reminder in Surah Al-Hadid, ayah number 4, that وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. Allah subhanahu is with us wherever that we are. وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. And no doubt, He is known for sure whatever that we do. Then where can we go, Ya Allah? That if you want to do something that it is not according to the Holy Quran, you won't see me. Where should I hide that you don't see me? What should I say that you don't hear me? And how do I feel in my heart that you don't know it? Therefore, as we'll see, some of the ayat of the Quran says, إِنَّ بَعْدَ الظَّنِّ. Even though sometimes when we think about something bad, that is a sin. We have to watch out that as we breathe, the breath belongs to Him, the earth belongs to Him, and heaven above belongs to Him. So wherever I am under the control of heavenly order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With that, we are asking Allah subhanahu that since I am created the way you want me to be, then bless me today that I know you better than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. Help me, Ya Allah, that today I follow the path that you are showing it to me. Today better than last, this week better than last week, but not as good as next week. We have mentioned before that today, as it is marking the second day of the spring, what does it have to do with Islam? A lot. Our life depends on it. What happens to our Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? We mentioned it before, that the migration of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it happened by the lunar system that most of us know. But the solar system, it is not talked about that. What's the reason? Due some misinterpretation of some of the people that they believe divide and rule is the issue, and they become among the ummah, and they create these divisions and this hardship, and in fact some lies and fabrications anyway. They are not meant to bring our ummah together, but they are meant to make a division in our ummah. Creating of the Shi'is and Sunnis. I would like to bring you one example of that one. The issues of, you probably know it, when something was happening in Syria, they said that Shi'is against Sunnis, Sunnis against, that's what they wanted to create and develop. Even though that we know that Alawite has nothing to do with Shi'is anyway. Ibn Nusayr belongs to his sort of branch, and the Sunnah of Rasulullah is not that one anyway. But today, as we are talking to you, you hear that it is not issues of the Shi'is and Sunnis, but rather it is issues of destroying the whole nation. Destroying anyone The man that goes yesterday into the masjid in Damascus, Masjid of Imam in Damascus, and he blows himself up, and he kills a respected Imam of the Sunni, Muhammad Ramadan, which was one of the greatest scholars over there. The man that he talks about, let us always talk rather than gun will not help. Destruction does not do any good. But what happens as he's talking in the masjid? A person goes into the masjid with the explosive belt and he blew himself up among the believers. Now, more than 50 people is killed, many have been injured. Is this possibly Islam? It's impossible. It has nothing to do with Quran. But with the name of Islam they come in. Therefore we have to watch out, as we are talking about these issues, that there are terrorists that they call themselves Muslims. No, these are terrorists. The tag does not go along with them. The thieves that they are stealing and then they call themselves Muslims. No, a thief is calling himself a Muslim. Muslim will not become a thief. Or in fact, sometimes some of our brothers and sisters that I meet and talk to each other, they say our rulers, our Muslim rulers are dictators. No, a Muslim ruler will not become dictator. A dictator calls himself a Muslim ruler. So if we distinguish between these facts, we will see that the kuffar continuously are struggling to create hatred and divisions amongst us. Many times we have mentioned it here. They're talking about, is this the masjid that belongs to the Shi'is or Sunnis? How could you say that the wall of the masjid could be Shi'i or Sunni? How could be the building could become Shi'i or Sunni? It's impossible. And the Holy Quran mentions very clearly, وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ. Masjid, Allah does not want Shi'i or Sunni. أَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ وَلَا تَدْعُ مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. Do not stick anything to masjid. It belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we follow the Quran, we will not ask this question, nor we will go ahead and shape ourselves in the situation of, I am going to the masjid of the Shi'is or I am going to the masjid of Sunnis. Take that away from our mind and follow the Holy Quran, that the difficulties of our ummah is they do not follow the Quran. The difficulty of that individual that goes to the masjid in Damascus, specifically the masjid of Imam yesterday, and blow himself up, and the rest of the mu'mineen, what's his issue? Is because he was taught that if you do such a thing, you go to paradise. I'll give you another example. Some of you brothers and sisters probably have heard it or you read it in the news. During the time of the Arba'in, there was a man that he was captured as he was walking with the rest of those millions of 20 million Muslims that they were walking usually from Najaf to Karbala. As he was going, and he had the explosive belt on himself. Some people, probably they got the idea that this is the man that he is. They somehow got him, and yes, it was. Well, he would have created a lot of problems. When they got him, they got mad at him. Some people started to beating him and this and that. Police came and saved him from the kicking of the people and beating him and all of that. When they took him, this is a report of the police that it says. He says he was crying. Finally, police says, well, I'm sorry that they beat you up. They shouldn't have done it. So you don't have to cry, and I'm sorry that this is what's the problem. He says, no, I'm not crying because they beat me up. But what's the reason that you're crying? He said, because I wanted to go to paradise fast. And I was unable to go ahead and explode myself. The mentality that it goes to the mind of these people is not the mentalities of Islam. What is the reason? Because we do not follow the Holy Quran as it says, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا وَمَنْ قَتَلَ نَفْسًا بِغَيْرِ نَفْسٍ فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. If you kill one individual, who are you to be the judge immediately to kill him? You can't do that. Like you have killed the whole humanity. And if you bring someone into the life, like you have brought the humanity into the life. Where does all of this problem comes? From an individual, the fatwas that have been in their books, without calling the names, you will know it. I will show it to you if you want to in our library. that he says you have to kill all the Shi'is. If this fatwa comes, how do you know? When the bomb goes off, does the bomb says, go ahead, let me see who is Shia, who is Sunni? Bomb has an eye. Bomb can detect who is what. On the other hand, if you make such a decision, how do you know you became the judge on the day of judgment? You replace yourself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because of these issues, it is no longer the issues of the Shias and Sunnis. It is the issues of humanity against inhuman act of those individuals that they have these fatwas. Now with that, again you will hear that there is such a thing as Nowruz. Most of you have heard about that. What is Nowruz? Unfortunately, it is called Persian New Year. But no, it is not Nowruz for Persian. It is not for Muslims. It's not for Shiis. It's for the whole humanity. Why is it? The first day of spring marks the movement of the universe. So, when the days and night become equal with each other, when the beginning of life, when the life starts, that's the beginning of life for the whole human race. Why are you tagging it for this nation or that nation? When it arrived on Wednesday, it arrived all of Northern Hemisphere at 7:02 in the morning in our time and the rest of the areas. Based on that one, there is such a calendar as the Hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Medina based on lunar system, which is 1434 years ago. We know 1434 Muharram had passed from migration of Rasulullah from Mecca to Medina. We're talking about a year, not the day or a month. With the same idea, there is 1392 spring passed from the migration of Rasulullah from Mecca to Medina. So one is called the Hijri migration of Shamsi, which is 1392 years. One is called the Hijri of Qamari, which is 1340 and 34 years. Now, based on that, the sun and the moon is a part of our life. With the sun, you come into Salat al-Jum'ah. You know that. When does the Salat al-Jum'ah comes? When the Dhuhr comes. The Dhuhr is given to you by the power of the sun. When does the month of Ramadan comes? On the month of Ramadan. How do you know? The moon of the heaven. How do I go to the Hajj? By the moon of the heaven, with the sun of the heaven too. How do I do my fasting? With the moon of the heaven, which says month of Ramadan. And the sun of the heaven will tell you from what time to what time you fast. And all of that, وَالشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ وَحُسْبَانٌ, sun and the moon is accordingly are moving, is the issues that it is given to us. However, the culture that you probably have seen it, I have written it in one page for those of you that you wish to have it, you're welcome to pick it up from before you go. And it talks about that there is some cultures and customs that they introduce it in the pictures. Some people call it 7 seen, sab'a samawat, sama'. What is that sab'a means? 7 does not mean after 6. Sab'a means unlimited. The shape of this 7, you probably know it as an Arabic like a we, as far as you can see, is heaven. It's unlimited. You can't see the end of it. Therefore, based on that one, they will put 7 fruits that it starts with the name of sin, which is in the language of the Iranian, and they did it in order to say the heaven is moving and this fruit and vegetable is produced in this earth. The production of whatever that I'm using in my life is due to heaven. وَفِي السَّمَاءِ رِزْقَكُمْ وَمَا تُوعِدُونَ. Whatever that you are being fed from this earth is from heaven above. Therefore, how does this become alive? By the movement of the spring coming, that the ground becomes alive. They put the water in there with the fish in it, supposedly, and they say, okay, وَمِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلُّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Don't you want to think from the water, the whole thing where is the water? When it became alive, where is the water? Can you produce water? It came from heaven above and made the earth my food, my mean of sustenance. And then they put this thing up as they read this beautiful dua that it is by the Imam Ma'sur, the seventh Al Muhammad. Ya Muhammad al-Hawla wal-Ahwal. You that you are changing the whole creation. Ya Mudabbir al-Layla wal-Nahar. That you bring the day to the night, night to the day. Ya Mughallib al-Qulub wal-Absar. You that you change the heart of the people and their visions. Hawwil halana ila ahsan al-hal. Change my condition to the best of the condition. Which is best according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Change my heart to recognize you. That when a spring comes, the life starts. Many ahadith that we have from Imam Abol-Fazl that the life started actually by the spring. Why is it? Because that is a time that in equal night and day is involved, and then light will become the part of the earth, and the earth starts to become alive. Plus many things else. Historically, if you take this concept back into the beginning of the condition of connection of Muhammad and Al Muhammad, which was on Qadir al-Khum, that was on the day of Qadir, on that day of first day of spring also. So putting these few drops out of the ocean of what is happening in our lifestyle, let's say our heart has to be changed to a better heart, to a better condition. We have it from Imam Ali alayhi salam, the way that he puts it, قُلُوبُ ثَلَاثَةً. The hearts of the people are three kinds that we can talk about that. قَلْبٌ مَشْغُولٌ بِالدُّنْيَا. There is a heart that it is all dunya, nothing else. I got to go to work, I got to make money, I have to go home and sleep, I have to go back to work, I have to go home, I come to sleep, I go. That is one. And then he says, وَأَمَّا قَلْبٌ مَشْغُولٌ بِالدُّنْيَا وَلَهُ شَدَّةِ وَالْبَلَاءِ. The one that they are sticking only to dunya, that I have to live. Why aren't you come to masjid? I don't have time, I have to work. Why aren't you doing something good for other people? I have to work. Dunya and dunya. They have a lot of problems. The second group of people, قَلْبٌ مَشْغُولٌ بِالْأُخْبَةِ. Their heart is only saying, the life of hereafter, the life of hereafter. I want to pray. I don't care about money. I don't care about people. I don't care about. And you go sit down somewhere and you pray and pray and pray. Okay, that is your condition. وَأَمَّا الْقَلْبُ مَشْغُولٌ بِالْعُقْبَةِ وَلَهُ الدَّرَجَاتُ الْأُولَى. Okay, there are some darajat, some issues for you. That okay, you can get it on that one. But there is a third group that inshallah ta'ala Allah bless us to be of that third group. قَلْبٌ مَشْغُولٌ بِالْمَوْلَى. The heart that it always say, Ya Allah, what do you want me to do? It is what I want to do. It is what do you want me to do? And then, those that they are really, they want Him. He is the owner of this life and the life of hereafter. As it was mentioned at the beginning of the khutbah, that for sure, where can we go that He is not with us? Wherever that we go, He is with you. In this life, and for sure in the life of hereafter. Most of you have heard the beautiful hadith of Imam Ali alayhi salam, the way that he was asked, how come the whole creation has one qiyam, one ruku, one sajda? The tree will come up as a qiyam. And then you have to bear fruit. Okay, I bear fruit and vegetables and the leaves on the time that you order me, not in the middle of the winter. That is the ruku. When the wind hits you, what do? I bow down. I know I follow exactly your command, Ya Allah. And the time that it comes, I go become dust, and that's the end of it, and one sajda. That's finished. But to us as a human being, we do have that qiyam as we rising up, as we are coming to this life, and we have the ruku as we become obedient to the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we have two sajda. What's the first one? The same thing as the whole animals and the trees are. Yes, we are, and but we go to the dust. But what's the second sajda for? That for sure, as the creation of all the life of hereafter, I will go back to my grave, but if I rise up in the day of judgment. I am not finished with me, just like the trees and animals. How come they don't have the day of judgment? Because they are not going to be, they don't do anything wrong to be judged. We are doing something wrong that they have to be judged. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He calls Himself, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. He is with us wherever that we go. And He is aware of whatever that we do. Do you think I can do something that He doesn't see it? Do you think I can steal while nobody can see, but Allah doesn't see me? Do you think I can go ahead and cheat on my wife, on my husband, on my this and that families, and Allah is not watching it? For sure He's watching. Since He is watching us, we have to shape ourselves up according to what He wants us to do. Based on that, the Holy Quran as a law book is giving us many of these concepts that stick with Quran. And if you do, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us wherever that we go. As soon as I come to some resolution, what should I do, Ya Allah? Read the Quran, it will tell you what to do. That is what the name of the Holy Quran is, Quran. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. So with that Quran we live our life, with that Quran we die, and with that Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving it to us, give us in the right hand, so we will be blessed for the life of hereafter and forever in paradise, inshallah ta'ala. Ya Rabbi Allah, bless us and help us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa inshallah antum yu'minuna bil jannah. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inu. Alhamdulillah al-qasim al-jabbarin, mubir al-zalimin, mudrik al-haribin, mikal al-zalimin, sarif al-mustasrifin, mawlay hajat al-talibin, muhtamil al-mu'minin. Alhamdulillah alladhi min khashyatihi taradu as-sama' wa sukanaha wa tajfu al-ardu wa 'ammaraha wa tamuju al-bahar wa man yasmuhu fi qamaratiha. الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا على عبد المعيد والرسول المسدد المحمود الأحمد حبيب إله العالمين على القاسم محمد. حب الدنيا رأس كل خطيئة. The love of this dunya is the beginning of all the problem. Whether it is by the rulers, whether it is by the people that they do not stick to their Islam. All of these dictators that they are in our time, they are thinking about themselves. When it is time that the Ummah is rising up, so many of them has to be destroyed because someone wants to be the ruler. Isn't that the same thing that it happened to the rulers before? Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us so many examples? What happened to Pharaoh? What happened to all of those Qarun? What happened to the criminals of our times? That you see them today. Those that they call themselves big dictators, they are locked up behind the jails. Those that they are really, they know that they are hanging very hard, but for sure, time is on our side of the truth and the mu'mineen, and they will be gone. And according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ بَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٍّ وَلَا يَسْتَخِفَنَّكَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. The promise of Allah is a reality. What is that promise? His wa'ada is that mu'mineen will inherit the earth. His wa'ada is that the earth belongs to Him, it will be inherited by you, brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala. Even though they delay it, but we know that inshallah we will be the inheritor of the earth, and for sure we are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to expedite the coming of Imam Mahdi, that is waiting for us too, by the way. It is not that we are waiting for him. He is waiting for us. When are you going to change your condition? That in Allah, لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Allah will not change us until each and individual of us recognize the plot of the kuffar and munafiqeen, recognize who is in our ummah that is creating problem, recognize that if we rise up, all will rise up, and nobody can defeat us. But, unfortunately, we fall into the trap of the kuffar, and then they become confused. May Allah bless us and help us to be what He wants us to be. Allahumma ansur Islam wa Muslimin, ansur Nasr al-Din, Allahumma ansur Juyush al-Muslimin wa ansur al-Muwahhidin, Allahumma ansur ikhwanina fi kulli makan, wakhbir al-kuffar wal-munafiqin ya Rabb al-Muslimin, Allahumma ashfi ma'allana warham mawtana sallim dinana wa dunyana. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله